Hey, ladies and gentlemen, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 2 of the podcast, What It Takes. It's Phil Carrick here from philcarrick.com. And today, oh my goodness, can you see my hands? Are they shaking? Are they shaking? Okay, I am with one of my favorite guys in the entire world. Okay, relationship and personal development coach, Ken Canion from coachkencanion.com. How do I know Ken? Because we met, goodness knows how long ago, Ken, in an event in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we sort of hit it off straight away. And I was so excited that Ken kindly agreed to come on and to talk about TikTok, his secrets about TikTok, and why he got into personal development. So, without any further ado, because you don't want to listen to me, you want to listen to the main man, Ken Canion. So Ken, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much, buddy, for turning up.
You know, you haven't changed a bit in 7, 8 years. I'm gonna tell you something. When we hit it off, it wasn't just your accent that I loved. It was the energy, and you still have it, dude. And besides the fact, I used to call. Do you remember I used to call you the resident genius? We used to talk. You remember that?
Yeah.
And I still call him that, y'all. So my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. We've been on this lifelong journey to continue to be better at what we do. And so I'm glad we meet again, my friend.
Coach Ken Canion, honestly, it is just, the pleasure is all mine, my friend. Honestly, I just, when you agreed to jump on this call, I just thought, that is it. Yeah, my week is done. I don't need to do anything else.
You're going to, though.
Yeah, I am going to. You're right. You're absolutely right. So Ken, I mean, I've got a couple of notes. Let's sort of bring them over here because I'm not that good. But you're a relationship and personal development coach.
Yes.
So how did you get into that?
So let's talk more or less. I focus on relationships primarily, but what I tell people is I'm a personal development coach. I don't like using the term life coach, because it's so much more than that. And most of us have a skewed idea of what that is. And so I help people in their personal development. A lot of times people think that the relationship is what they want. But when I tell them, I said, if you work on you, the relationship will be a byproduct of that. And so as a result of that, I realized 14 years ago, my wife and I were headed to divorce court. We had been married 7 years, and things weren't going well. We weren't communicating well. And it was just terrible. She didn't like me. I didn't like her much. And then one day we were just going at it, Phil, really, really hard. And my wife said, can we just leave this environment? And, you know, at the time, I didn't want to even be around her. But we got in the car. She was looking out of her window. I was looking out of my window. And I'll tell you what, we were driving down the street. The only thing I can remember was I had just gotten off a reality show. And I told you about The Biggest Loser I was on. And I didn't have but $7 at the time because I turned away all these clients. She said, can we get something to eat? I said, I only have $7. So she said, pull into Wendy's. I hadn't eaten Wendy's in over a year. But at that point, I really didn't care. So it was just so happens. I did a video about this that said how $7 saved my marriage. And we got 2 like junior cheeseburgers. It was $2.99 and some change. I had just enough. When I was pulling through, my wife said, would you pull into a parking space? Pulled in a parking space, right? I'll never forget it. And what she said was, we're going to sit here. I didn't get married to get divorced. We're going to sit here till we figure out what's wrong with us. We stayed there 2 hours and 42 minutes. I know down to the minute. And we came up with a conflict resolution system that saved our marriage. And I learned more about her that day than I had in all the previous years that we've been married. And because of that moment, I realized I had a greater purpose to save marriages that could be saved. Because I realized our marriage could be saved because our thoughts were different than what really was. And so that's how I got into relationship coaching, man. And then I haven't looked back since.
That is amazing. Hey, and wasn't that fabulous that you both had the maturity to pull in and go, right, okay, let's sort this out.
Sure.
So, hey, fabulous, because I love the name that you came up with, the Grand Canyons. I think that is such a great play on your surname. That is just superb. And and I see pictures of you and Karen, and I think, oh my God, they look the happiest couple in the world. But
yeah.
You don't realize, or a lot of people who see it don't realize that, my goodness, there was, it took a bit to get to that.
It did. And here's the thing though, but both of us had to be willing to personally develop ourselves, to grow, to become a better version of who we were. Because a lot of times in relationships, people are so hung up on that they're angry, they're frustrated, they're bitter for whatever reason. And they don't realize that I have to evolve from where I am, because you cannot solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created the problem. And so when I work with people, and then because I did the work myself, I had to become a better version of who I was. And so I help singles too, prepare for having the ideal relationship. I work with couples and all of them, but you're right. We are happy. What we're happy with who we are as individuals. And then when we come together as a collective group, we're much more powerful. So yeah, that's my business partner, my wife, my girlfriend, all in one person.
That is fabulous, fabulous, and long may it continue, my friend.
Right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So, Ken, I had a question from one of my tribe. Okay, and they said, look, you really must ask Ken this. How does he stay motivated?
Stay motivated to do what I do, to market what I do. Mm-hmm. You know what, man? I heard a long time ago that, in my business, a lot of times people, especially if you're new, they're afraid to tell the world what they do, right? And I look at it as this, Phil. I do the world a disservice if I don't tell them. If I don't continually tell them, because here's how I look at life. There is somebody out there who needs me and I need them. And if they stay on their path and I stay on my path, we're going to meet one day at the designated time. I believe that. I believe that you and I met at the designated. Everything I believe is divine. And I also say, listen, so when I look at the bigger picture as, okay, I didn't make any money today, that's okay. Because if I keep doing my purpose, I always tell people money is a result of you being great at what you do and having a passion to do it, period. And then people are willing to exchange money for that value you offer. So how I stay motivated, when I look at it as somebody out there needs me. And if I stop, then I miss the opportunity to help change their life.
Yeah, absolutely, Ken. And I couldn't agree more. I'm exactly the same as you. I mean, a few years ago, I went through bankruptcy, and I don't mind telling people that, because I invested in properties that weren't in the right locations, Ken. And it was just like a domino effect. The 2008 crash hit. I'm not blaming that. It's just I have the responsibility. But I was hiding from people knocking on the door and things like that. And people say to me, how do you keep on going? You just have to, Ken, don't you?
You just have to. And then I think it's this simple, Phil. It's one step in front of the other. You don't look down the road. Don't look at 3 months down the road. Let's focus on today. What can I do right now? Maybe I can't get in another house. Maybe I went bankrupt, because I've gone bankrupt. I've been bankrupt before years ago. And that was a terrible feeling. I'll never forget. I had the curtains drawn and I went through a state of depression. And when what made me come out of that depression was simply this. I said, okay, I built that. Let's reframe what happened. All right, now I realize, okay, I lost that. But what happened? But there was another thing that happened. I did build that. I did make that money. I did do that. Now, what did I learn from it? I learned what not to do, which is as important as what to do. And so now I apply it to my life, which has allowed me to be financially independent today. So I look at everything as, you know what, it's necessary as long as I reframe it and see what I learned from it and move from that perspective.
Thank you so much, buddy. And thank you for being so open with us as well, Ken. Because I'm so pleased you mentioned that you know, how did I get to where I was? Right. Well, because I built it. So if I built it, I can build it again. I mightn't have $10 to my name at the minute, but you keep on going. And I was exactly the same, Ken. I kept on going, and thankfully I'm in a much better place now, like yourself. But it's the never give up attitude. That's what's key, isn't it?
Absolutely. And for those people out there in your audience who are, you know what, you stumbled upon some hard times and you are not where you want to be. Here's what I'm going to say to you. What we don't want is to ask endless loop questions like, why am I here? How did I get here? And all of those. Okay. It's okay to ask them once, but then what we do is shift our questioning, because I think it was Tony Robbins who said quality of your life will be a result of the quality of questions you ask yourself. Now, the question I asked myself was, all right, how can I grow? Who do I need to meet? What do I need to learn? What do I need to do? And now all of a sudden, your brain, your reticular activating system begins to find that stuff for you. I find a Phil Carrick. Okay, Phil leads me to someone else. Then they lead me to someone. All of a sudden, I am so far removed from where I was. And now the light bulb comes on and says, you know what? I can do this again. And so that's what I will say. Change the questions that you're asking yourself. Reframe the story. And all of a sudden, you look at life differently.
I love that, Ken. I love that. Change the questions, reframe the story. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was brilliant. So, can we get on to the nitty-gritty of TikTok?
Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Yes.
Because you are a bit of a TikTok legend, okay? And I was ethically stalking you out on TikTok. I went, what? How come Ken has got millions and millions of likes? How come Ken's videos are getting like tens, 20, thousands of tens of thousands of likes? How is that? So are there any sort of secrets? All right, we promise we won't tell, Ken, but are there any secrets that you could give the audience who are listening on what you do to well, really to be successful on TikTok?
TikTok has literally changed my life.
Oh, wow.
And it has, and I'm going to tell you why. I hired a coach. Now get this, it's funny. It is so funny. 2 years ago, I hired a coach. Well, it was right before COVID, I'm sorry. Right before COVID. So I hired a coach to help me build my YouTube channel because I'm like this social media thing. And so COVID happened. He got out of the business. Even for him, all of us, you know, COVID made us do some things different. Yeah. And so he called me a year ago. I hadn't talked to him in over a year. He said, hey, man, I'm not doing the YouTube stuff anymore, but here's what I'm doing. He says, I'm doing TikTok. He says, and I said, is that where they do the stupid dances and, you know, all the stupid sounds? He's like, dude, you need to get on TikTok. So this was a year and a half ago, right? A little more than about a year and a half ago. So I'm like, yeah, all right, dude, all right. He says, TikTok has changed my life. And I'm like, but I didn't have any reference. I thought it was just like my little grandson getting up there acting, doing what kids do. And he told me, no, it's not. All right, so I'm like, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Now what I'm doing is I'm growing my business. I'm figuring out social media. I hired an intern. I'm like, what do we need to do? So it was 6 months after he had hit me again. He hit me again. Ken, TikTok is changing my life. I'm telling you, clients, I have clients galore. So here's what happened. What I did was I booked a month later. Again, I wasn't interested, but a month later, I was working out, and it hit me. If you want something different, you got to do something different. Yeah. I called him and I said, "Listen, I'll pay you. Let's do this discovery session." I paid him for, because anybody, he's an expert at it. But what he charged me was virtually, if anybody's interested in who he is, inbox me or Phil, and I'll give you his name, because I try to tell everybody, like I'm gonna tell everybody about you, Phil. But anyway, at that meeting, my light bulb went on. And here's what he said. He said, the reason I like TikTok over any other platform is because TikTok rewards good content. He said, it's not about the algorithm, like you gotta record, hashtag this. He said, if people watch and like, they'll keep showing it to more people. And I said, okay. And then what sold me was my wife sent me a video because she knew I was contemplating. She says, hey, you could do content like this guy. And I looked at the guy was a relationship coach. And I said, I can do that. And the rest was history. So, but I will tell people is this. Here's what he told me in the meeting. I'm going to give you the secrets. He said, number one, start. All right. I was like, all right, what? He said, watch this now. Then he said, go to YouTube. He said, look at videos that garner a lot of views, right? And then he said, can you do a 3-minute video on it? I was like, so go to your space, relationships, right? Go to your space. I went there and I saw and he has a tool now. There are software packages that you can type in and get content. But I just went and looked at the most searched stuff. I went on YouTube, but they have other plenty of software now that does it. And so what I did was I got me 10 topics. I got me 10 or 20 topics. And all I did was I created 10 or 20 topics, and I just set the camera up in front of me, and I put my notes right here, and I just started talking about that topic. That's all I did. Honest to God, that is all. I didn't do any hashtags. I didn't do any of that because I didn't know to do it. I didn't know to do that. He said, don't worry about that. Just do it. And so when I found the 20 topics around my niche, I just started making videos. And what I realized was about my 5th video, I realized people are looking at my stuff. I was amazed. They're looking at my stuff. And so one video led to the next. And so what I do is I'll do 10 to 20 videos every time I sit down. So I don't have to do them every day, right? 10 to 20 videos. And what I created what I call, Phil, let me give you my strategy.
Thank you. I'm making notes here, Ken, as you're saying, I'm jotting these notes down. That's how good they are. Thank you.
Right. So what I did was I said, I'm gonna go 1 day a week. I'm going to set aside 2 to 3 hours per week. All right. And this is what I did. And I would do 1 day a week. Because some people are busy, right? And I would do all of my videos right then. I would change shirts after the 3rd video. I would change shirts after the 3rd video. I would do 3 more. I would change shirts, do 3 more. And that would last me. But let me tell you what I did though. And this is the part that he told me, but I don't know if people are going to want to do this part. Because when he told me, I didn't want to do it. I did not want to do it. So here's what he said. He said, you want to get big on TikTok? I said, yes, I want to get huge. I told him, I said, I want 250,000 followers by the end of the year. Now listen to this, Phil, by the end of the year, right? He said, okay, this is what I want you to do. Do 3 videos per day. I said, what? He said, 3 per day. Now, everybody might not have that goal. All right, but I'm going to tell you what happened. Then I was like, 3 per day? And then he said, after you see what works, then you can cut it down to 2. After you see what works, then you can cut it down to 1. But start with 3. All right, Phil. So I wrestled with that emotionally, right? You know how that is.
Yeah.
Hey, are you kidding me? But here's what I did, Phil. I did 3 a day for 2 weeks. I didn't go the whole month. I did for 2 weeks. And all of a sudden, people start seeing my content. Then they start following me. And then all of a sudden I had 5,000 followers. First I had 1,000. I was like, I got 1,000. Then that 1,000 jumped to 5,000. And then I reduced it to 2 a day. I would do one at 11 and one at 6. All right. I'd reduced it to 2 a day after 2 weeks. All right. And then all of a sudden I had a content. It started exploding. And then by the first month in, I had over 5,000 followers, right? And then from there, then one of my videos went viral.
No.
I had a video that said, when a man says, I don't have time for you. That was the title. And what I got good at, y'all, let me tell you what I'm good at. I'm not great at doing a whole bunch of videos, but what I'm great at, I looked at each title as a headline. What's gonna make you click? So I got good at that. And then so when I would say a headline, I would say, when a man ghosts you, do this. And they would say, well, what'd you do? I just got ghosted. And then I'm gonna say, well, 3 reasons why a man ghosts you. Well, they want to know what are the 3 reasons?
Yep.
And they would just click. And then all of a sudden, once they clicked, they started liking my content. And then when that video went viral, and that video now has 2.7 million views, that my channel exploded. But every video, don't worry about if it goes viral or not. Here's what I've learned. Most videos you put out will not go viral. No. Most videos you put up won't garner 100,000 views like many of mine have. But what they do is they establish your credibility. That's what they do. And somebody says, oh, I've seen that guy before. Yeah, I've seen that guy before. Yeah, that guy's an authority. Why is he an authority? Because he keeps doing it. He's consistent. And now I've got 250,000 followers. Remember the 250 that I started with? So I started this process February 1st of this year. I've got 250,000 followers now today, and it's half a year, well, a little over half a year. I got the rest of the year. So I met my goal in 6 months, 5 months, March, April, May, June, July, August, 6 months. But that's just consistency. Yeah. Not that I'm special. I'm just a guy who is obsessed with doing that. And then I've rolled many of those people over into my programs, which my income has gone through the roof, because people want more. They want you to help them. Because remember, all of us offer value in what we do. And I hired a coach, y'all. If you need a coach and Phil is offering something, listen, we reconnected through the coach I hired. We reconnected through the coach I hired. So I hired 2 coaches. Listen, you got to be willing to invest in yourself. I'm telling you. And Phil, it's no rocket science, but that's what I did. And now, but let me, I can't miss this part. This is the hugest part. Because YouTube and Instagram were hard, right? Because I didn't have any followers. TikTok I reversed engineered it. Let me tell you what I did. I took the same content that I put on TikTok, and I repurposed it, and I would load it up on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube every day. So I didn't have to create more content. Now I started doing Instagram, Facebook, and all of that stuff. It was when I started doing, I did TikTok and Facebook. I would do 3 a day. I would do that strategy. With Instagram and YouTube, I would just do 1 a day. But just to start the process, because I was primarily focused on TikTok. And then once TikTok started rolling, I kept doing TikTok, but switched a lot of my focus to Facebook, because each one of those platforms, the person on the platform is a little bit different. And so there are unique things, uniquely that platforms. And so what I would tell you is, I repurposed, but I focused on one platform. Now I can focus on all four of them. Just so happens, y'all, that now I've got 250,000 on TikTok, 150,000 on Facebook. I've got my Instagram, I've got 18,000. And then on YouTube, which is the hardest one, I've got 27,000 subscribers. Doing it this way. So just for anybody else out there, and and one last thing, Phil, don't worry about that whole thing. You know, things are changing. You know, they can give you, hey, on these platforms, you got to have hashtags and do all that. Yeah, that stuff helps a little, but listen, the key here is just recording good content and being consistent. That's it. That is all I can tell you. All my hashtags are not always right. Some videos I put up, I don't even have a hashtag on, but I am good at headlines. I'm good at that. So I may just have a headline, no hashtags, and the video might get 100,000 views.
That is incredible, Ken. At the start of that question, I said, Ken, give us 3 secrets. Give me 3 top tips.
Oh,
I've written down 7. Okay, so number 1, just to recap some of the top tips that Ken gave us. Number 1 is to start. Now, I started last week on TikTok. I didn't have a clue, Ken. I was that bad. I locked myself out of TikTok in about 5 minutes. So I was that bad. But like anything, like a marketer, we're all marketers. We adapt. We get used to it. It's something new. We're going to feel a little bit overwhelmed because we're learning something new, but that's good.
That's good.
So number 1 is start. Number 2, go to YouTube. Have a look at the videos that are getting views in your niche. Number 3, the 10 to 20 videos. Every time you sit down, you do them. Change your shirt every 3 videos. How cool is that? That's brilliant. That's a top tip, Ken. So, and do you want to get big? Do 3 videos a day for a month. Okay, I've got 11 a.m., probably about 2 p.m., 6 p.m. Get good at headlines. Absolutely. And then number 7, I've got loads. The TikTok video on their Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and anywhere else you are. I've been listening to Grant Cardone, his 10X mentor. He says exactly the same thing. You've got to be omnipresent. You've got to be everywhere.
Everywhere. And I, right now, people are calling me. They're calling me for this. And dude, you're popping up in California. Oh, just so you know, I'm going to tell y'all something. I can't reveal everything, but opportunities have come to me for television show, huge podcasts, major magazines are interviewing me. And then what happens, you reach what we call a tipping point. Then all of a sudden you couldn't stop it if you wanted to. Now, I don't think I've reached the tipping point yet, but it's moving in that direction. And so listen, now I post all the time, but even if I weren't posting now, the machine is moving. People are always getting introduced to me. And so it's
the legacy, Ken, isn't it? That's catching up with you. You've done all of this work, so it'll keep on rolling. Like you say, even if you sort of down tools and have a sleep for the next 3 months, it's still going to be working.
It's going, but I'm gonna keep working to. I told my wife, I put my head down, and I don't look at numbers. I look at numbers for just not for vanity's sake, for business sake. But other than that, I am focused, and that's it. That is all. So I don't. My wife is like, "What are you doing?" I even learned how to edit on my own phone. I hired a guy that does most of my editing. But my reels and stuff, I got to give you one more piece of content.
Brilliant.
One more piece. Gary Vee said this, and I live by it. He said something so powerful. I didn't understand it. Gary Vee said, stop creating content, just document it. And let me explain what I mean by that. Whenever I do a live, I set up another phone to record me while I'm doing my live, right? Mm-hmm. I just set up the phone. And whatever I'm teaching, it records hours of it and hours of content. And all I do is take 1-minute clips, cut them up on my phone, put them out on TikTok, all of my platforms. All I do is cut it up on my phone. Now I do that now, Phil. I didn't do that at first. So I would sit down and do 20 videos. Now I don't have to. All I gotta do is cut up 20 of them and take me, boom. That's what I do. I get a free editing software off an app store. I cut it up, look at a few ads. You know, I ended up paying for mine because I need to move. And now I'll upload stuff. I like Cordone says, 10x it. I'm flooding the market with content now. Everybody is seeing me. Everybody, even those who don't like me, they keep watching me.
Ken, how could anybody not love you? That's the thing. Okay, but sometimes as well, it could almost be a jealousy thing, or it could be I haven't quite got to where Ken is. So have you noticed there could be a little bit of resentment there, even though you're one of the nicest guys on the planet? There'll still be haters out there.
Oh, absolutely. And people have to, I've come to grips with the idea that if I wasn't, you know, this lets me know I'm doing something. Yeah. That somebody, you know, and you know, if you don't have any haters out there, you're not doing anything. So in this space that we're in, Phil, I have come to accept that as just part of this business we're in.
You're quite right, my friend. Ken, that was amazing. I loved all that. Thank you so much for that. Takes the word over deliver to a whole new stratosphere.
Dude, thank you.
I was only expecting 3 and we got 8, for goodness sake. I'll probably I'll have to split this video, make a couple.
That's cool. And listen, Phil, thank you so much. You've always been an honorable man in what you're doing. I appreciate you. Your tribe don't know the gem that they have in you. Maybe they do know. And for those who don't know, stay close to this guy. He's a lifelong learner, and he's going to help you do whatever it is you're called to do. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that, Ken. I really do appreciate it. That was very nice of you to say that. And likewise, my friend, my goodness, what a guy, you know, and thank you for giving us your time, Ken. I really do appreciate it. It goes a heck of a long way. And those nuggets, my goodness, they are pure gold. They really are. So, Ken, before we sign off, if anybody wanted to check you out online, what's the best way that they can do that?
I'm on every platform, but I'll tell you the best way to get me is Coach Ken Canion, last name Canion, Coach Ken Canion. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me Instagram. You can find me Facebook, TikTok, Coach Ken Canion. It's the same everywhere. But if you want to go to my website, go to CoachKenCanion.com. Everything is Coach Ken Canion. So if you want to find me, that's where you find me.
That is brilliant. Thanks ever so much. So, Coach Ken Canion, I just have to say thank you so much, my friend. It was lovely to catch up with you again after all these years, and we're not gonna wait that long again. And I'm going to contact you with and ask you for that TikTok guy, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. He's just like you, a heck of a guy, and for what he charges, I hope he didn't go up on his charges, because I'm like, dude, he's got 600,000 followers on TikTok.
Brilliant.
And he's such a nice guy. He's just like you, just like you. I keep attracting these guys. God knows I don't deserve it, but I'm glad I have you. Thank you, man.
Oh, thank you so much, Ken. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, buddy, and all the very best for you and Karen for the future.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Alrighty.